Good morning, everybody. It is Monday, and you know what that means. I gotta find my glasses. OJ has this habit in the mornings of just knocking everything off. Dining room table, living room table. He comes into the office, gets on the desk, and anything he can find, he just knocks off. Doesn't care. Okie Bree said, "Can you see me?" Yes, I see you. Nana Banana's in the house. Trev Time had a busy weekend. Two Boston Mom says it's Motabolizm time. You better believe it. Chop Chop, good morning. How are you guys doing? You strangers. I will never get over that. Ever. You have a missing child. You have 3 in foster care. You have 2 that you lost to the state of Wisconsin. And your way of bonding with your daughter that was taken by the state of Wisconsin is after you say, "I didn't know what drugs were, and he made me do drugs, but I haven't done drugs in 15 years. By the way, I have Cash App. Can you send me some money for cigarettes?" That's not really how you bond with a child that you failed epically that was raised by the state of Wisconsin. But hey, that's just me. Well, do my eyes deceive me? It's already raining in here. Candace and Crime just gifted 5 Crime Lines and Lives memberships. Here we go. That's the way to start Motabolism Monday. Thank you so much. I think I'm going to hit the coin pusher machine when I get it. Woo! Yeah, over the weekend, Candace was spotted at a coin pusher. She had on, I don't know what kind of shoes those were. She looked like she had escaped from a psych ward. She had on pajama pants, t-shirt, no bra. But woo, the weekend before, she just about broke the internet. My goodness. She rolled out of bed, put on her least dirty shirt, didn't even button it up right. And she rolls in to a festival where they also have booths for missing children. Now, this went on last year, but she was too busy to make it, okay? I don't know what the hell she had going on, but she was too busy to make it. Hence why the booth said Summer Wells is 6 years old. Now, regardless of what some people say, Candace and Don spent not one dime of their money on this. Okay? Not one dime. When all of this, these are strangers that are doing this out of the kindness of their heart. All right? 100%. If I was Eric Estrada, I'd have been like, why am I holding a shirt that says Daddy's Girl? He doesn't know the backstory. But boy, he does now. Let me tell you what, social media never fails. He knows now. Damn. So she couldn't be bothered with it last year. She can never be bothered with the vigil that happens every June for summer. She could never be bothered with any of the press conferences, her or Don. This is equal opportunity, my friends, and Grandis. Don't forget about old Grandis. So when law enforcement is doing their mini press conferences, they don't show up. But somehow they got talked into this. This is crazy. And the comments blew my mind. They blew my mind. I saw one that said, See, all of you haters that say Candace doesn't care about Summer, look at her right there. Where was she at the press conference on June 16th, June 17th, June 18th? Prayer Garden had a really good point over the weekend. I just happened to catch part of it. She said, they damn sure know where Summer isn't at. So that tells me they know where she is at. That was an epic point. Think about it. Don said, well, I'll see her in the resurrection. They're never going to find her. When they had the pop-up search in the fall of 2021, Don just kind of shook his head like, oh, that's a waste of time. When they had the pop-up search in the spring, and Candace was talking to Benny when they were still friends. They might be friends again now. I never know. She was playing Monopoly with Candace, and she said, well, they're not going to find her there. Very matter of fact. Well, they're not going to find her there. Well, then where are they going to find her? Where? You've got time for Cash App. You've got time for PayPals. You've got time to go on panels and tell them your woe is me stories. Just like last week, we had to hear that their Venmo was hacked. When in over 2 years, and trust me, I would be the last to know because I don't follow their bullshit. When in the last 2 years, though, have you ever seen a Venmo put up for Candace? Do they even have one? Or is this just more lies? Just like when she said the twisted tea was for Candace, Candace doesn't drink. She doesn't drink alcohol. And she said the vape was Skittles and that was for her. Okay, we've seen her large and in charge for the last over 2 years, and she smokes. We've seen many text messages going around where she says, well, if you can send me some money for cigarettes, never a vape. Never. So that vape was for Hunter. You see, not everyone is lying about them. That is the truth. Let's get to some comments and then we're going to get to the show because we got some big celebrating to do for our friend Trevor that knocked it out of the park this weekend. Okay, this is in regards to our hero, Don and Candace, for showing up in dirty-ass clothes, buttoned wrong. Looks like she has on knee pads, but those are some of Don's basketball shorts. And the internet lighting up saying, look at the hard work that Candace is doing to find Summer. I didn't know what to say. I couldn't even address it. You know, when your mind is that blown, sometimes you need to give it a few days to recoup. My goodness. Breema G said, it's amazing to me all the work absolute strangers put into the continued efforts to find Summer. Yet her own mom barely does shit, especially if it involves coming out of her own pocket to do it. Boom, Bree. Boom. Boom. Deborah Wallace says, I enlarged the picture and I stared into her eyes. I saw no one. It looked like no one was really there anymore. I don't know anything about Candace's childhood, but I can't help but wonder how much she was hurt. Oh, I have a feeling she's a very hurt person. Hurt people hurt people, but it's no excuse. Then as an adult, she turned around and hurt her children the way she had been hurt and felt nothing. The only feelings she has are for herself, and that scares me. Wow. Again, we've heard it over and over. Hurt people hurt people. We've seen it over the weekend, what's been going on. Instead of just a simple, this was a misunderstanding, I apologize, we've had a double down effort to try to trash the mother of Michael Vaughn. It's not going to work around here. It's just not. Gina said all those people worked for months and used their own money to put that booth together. Then Can't shows up for a photo op. Also, I heard her broken foot has made a miraculous recovery. Lock her up already. Think about that. How the hell do her bones grow back together that damn fast? 1 minute she's got the Cash App up because she needs a walking boot for her broken foot, just like her heart, just like her stroke that acts up when she's had too much whiskey, you name it. And then out of the blue, she is fine. She's great. She shows up with one of the cast members from Chips with a shirt that's not even buttoned up. Aggie said 2 years later, Can't is finally doing something for her daughter. Where were you at the beginning, Candace? Why weren't you at the press conferences? Why weren't you arm in arm with law enforcement for Summer? Can we say boom? Boom. Aggie, you could not be more right. My goodness. Where Summer 800 TBI Fine's been a member for 17 months and said Candace is an embarrassment to society. That's another boom. Wolfcat boom. You got it. The Slim Hauser's got the booms out. So I think we all pretty much are like-minded in this. I am not going to go around and celebrate this. I'm just not. I saw some comments and they're like, too little, too late. But this was supposed to be celebrated. Don thinks he is a celebrity. He honestly does. Well, we're going to talk about our favorite celebrity around here, and that is the one that used his own money, his own time, you name it. And here he is. Oh, hang on. That girl said the event was nice. The others put together. Candace did not do this. Candace did not do this. Let's bring up our friend Trevor. We're going to talk about his weekend. I want a big round of applause for what our friend Trevor accomplished over the weekend, because it was epic. A big boom in my book.
Thank you.
How are you doing, Trevor? You must be exhausted.
A little tired out, but I'm good. How are you doing?
Pretty good, my friend. So explain what went down and how you accomplished what you did, how you got on the news. You went to Bristol. I'm assuming there was a NASCAR race.
Yeah, so the NASCAR race was this weekend, and I thought, what would be a better time than to get the word out about Summer, because for those that aren't familiar, Bristol's a small city, but when the race comes, people come from all over the country, and traffic is booming. There's people everywhere. So I thought, why not just go out, do something simple, get the banners out, the flyers out, and just engage with people, get the word out about Summer.
I thought it was brilliant, personally. Teddy Burr said, so proud of you, Trevor.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sorry for the way I paused the news clip. The news anchor looks like she's using her O face. I'm sure she's a nice lady. How did the news get involved?
Well, the news station is actually just down the road from where I was, and one of the reporters who's interviewed me before just saw me out there and reached out and wanted to run a story. And I was like, getting Summer's name back out in the news, was going to be great. So they came out and they ran the story, and it got Summer's name back out there.
Dolores said, Trev going above and beyond as usual. Where Summer said Trevor Lee is Summer's voice now. Absolutely. Never get it twisted with what is going on YouTube. It is absolutely nasty. We are a true crime channel. Sometimes things have got to be discussed, even though we don't want to. But Trevor was doing the work.
I'm just glad we were able to get her name back out there, get it on the news, and get more people engaged. I talked to people that aren't from here and never heard of Summer Wells. And you'll see one in the interview with that guy walked up and he didn't know, and he ended up taking some flyers and passing them out himself.
That's what I'm talking about. Now, how did you pay for all the flyers? Because I know a lot of people were saying, I want to send you some money for the flyers. You shouldn't have to pay for that out of your own pocket.
I still had some older flyers of mine, had some made previously, and was able to give them out. And we had the QR code, so a lot of people were able to just scan that and get the information themselves. And then some did take home flyers. But we got some more stuff in the works, and it's going to be good. Some more boots on the ground stuff at events. Once I get these things finalized, I'll be able to put them out. But we've got some good stuff going.
Absolutely. And we're going to talk about that after this clip.
Thousands of people to the Tri-Cities this weekend, and one local man is hoping to spread awareness and find new leads in the disappearance of 5-year-old Summer Wells. Summer Wells went missing from her home on June 15th of 2021. She was reported missing by her family in the Beach Creek area of Hawkins County. The TBI has followed up on numerous tips, but there is still no sign of the little girl. Fox 39's Kylie Hill spoke with a local community member who is handing out flyers today in the hopes that it will help bring Summer home.
5-year-old Summer Wells went missing from her home more than 2 years ago, and one community member has been working since the beginning to help bring Summer home.
She's lost her voice. We have to be her voice. And I feel it's important that we as a community, whether close or far from where it happened, stand up for her and make sure she's not forgotten.
With the NASCAR Cup race bringing thousands of people from all over to Bristol, Trevor Lee decided to take the opportunity to spread awareness.
It'd be a good time to get out there. It's simple, go down the road, park, hold up a sign, engage with people, give them flyers, stuff like that. It's a simple way to do things, but to really get the word out.
Lee was outside Regent's Bake on State Street all day, holding up signs and handing out flyers.
Some would sit and discuss and just pull up the information and kind of get an understanding of the case. And for everybody, it's a tragedy. When you hear a child's been missing for 2 years, it's just sad. It pulls a...
Not just missing for 2 years, but 2 years. And I understand why law enforcement doesn't update the public. I get it. But I'm done with the wandering off theory. Because if she wandered off, there wouldn't be an open criminal investigation. And that's what TBI says. This is not my speculation. Now, how did you figure out where you were going to stand to get the most attention?
So that intersection is downtown Bristol. So if you go one way there, you get out to the interstate. One way you get to all of our restaurants, and one way to the Speedway, and then the other way downtown. So everybody in town was basically going to be using that intersection for one reason or another. So it just felt like the right place to post up. And I counted hundreds of people at the red light were able to sit and at least view the poster, look at her picture. So it was successful for sure.
100%. And that's how it's done. Cotton Candy said no abduction is what the card team said. Yep, we're going to go through a press conference.
Pull up the information and kind of get an understanding of the case. And for everybody, it's a tragedy. When you hear a child's been missing for 2 years, it's just sad. It pulls at your heart.
Connecting with people from all over.
I've spoken to people about this case, both locally in the country and even as far as Australia, Europe. So people really have come together, and this has pulled at everybody's heart, I think. It takes one person in these kind of cases. It takes one person to know where Summer is or what happened. And we don't know if that person is right here in Bristol, a county over, or all the way across the country. So if we can spread her name from coast to coast, we can find that person, or we can keep her name out there where she won't be forgotten.
With the goal of keeping her face and name in the public's eye.
Just the one mission is bring Summer Wells home and have justice for her. That's all that matters.
If you have any information on the disappearance of Summer Wells, you are asked to call investigators at 1-800-TBI-FIND. In Bristol, Kylie Hill, Fox 39, News at 10.
Talk about boots on the ground. That was absolutely amazing. Country Girl Ann just became a new YouTube member. You're going to love it here. Let's take a second and welcome our new friend, Country Girl Ann. Welcome to the family and welcome your neighbor. Welcome, welcome. Muscles and Mascara said, thank you, Trev, so much. I saw a couple of comments in here saying, had I known, I would have been there. So, I mean, in the future, if something like this is going to go on, because some of us need, 2-3 weeks to prepare, just let us know. When did you decide to do this, Trev?
Well, actually, I had forgot that it was going to be race weekend. And so it was only a few days before that I realized. I was driving and saw the signs up, welcome race fans. And then it just hit me. I needed to go out there and do this for those couple of days while everybody was around town. But for future things, there'll definitely be more notice. Like I said, I'm working with a few different events and venues right now on hoping to do something like that at their places. And once those are finalized, I'm going to put it all out just as a big schedule so people can come out if they want and just know what's going on.
Well, I thought it was fabulous. Did you get my husband's message on Facebook? I don't know if he sent it to you directly or put it in the link or whatever. But I mean, it was almost like his own son was out there doing it. He was like, that's my boy. And I was like, where the hell did that come from?
No, I didn't see it, but I appreciate that for sure.
Well, I just thought it was absolutely amazing. And it just goes to show you positivity wins. You see, rolling with shit people gets you nowhere. Positivity wins. And let me tell you something. What Trevor did over the weekend made a huge impression.
It reminded me that people still care. We get on here and we see a lot of garbage like we talk about. And there's, drama and there's, just disgusting things going on around this case on YouTube. But when you just you just go out to the street and just talk to people and you show them her picture and you tell them that she's missing, people really care and they want to stop and learn more and take pictures home and take flyers. And, people do care still.
Yeah, people aren't as bad as what we talk about on this channel. That's why I thought it was so important that the news came out and showcased what you were doing, because that's what we need to see. People that are truly working for missing children, not using their name. If Summer is tagged in my show, we're going to be talking about Summer Wells. We're going to be talking about her case. Do we have to bring up her parents? Yeah, they haven't been cleared. Do we have to talk about her grandmother? Yeah, she got the hell out of town and hasn't been cleared. There is a long history of abuse of children. It has to be discussed. Now, let me ask you this, because it was on the news and it's been talked about around YouTube. Not by everybody, but Did Don, Candace, or Grandis call to thank you for the amazing work you did this weekend?
They did not.
What? Oh. Really? So all of that you did for their missing daughter, they didn't call, and they know how to get a hold of you. The last time Don talked to you, he said he was going to put you in the ground. Which, hey, all is forgiven, right? That's what happens. People get in bad moods. So, wow. Well, you never know. Today's Motabolizm Monday. Maybe they'll reach out and say, hey, Trevor, we happened to get a lot of money on Cash App the other night. Can we reimburse you for your gas and buy you lunch? You never know. Crazier things have happened. Are you holding your breath, Trevor?
I will not be holding my breath now.
We don't want anything to happen to you, Trevor. And we have spoke about this many times before. I really want you to be careful because there are some crazy ass people out there.
Definitely.
All right, I'm going to lightly touch on this because, again, this is about Summer Wells. We're going to go through press conferences and everything, but I love how Evil Exists put this together. And I don't want anything twisted, okay? Brandy Neal is the mother of missing Michael Vaughn. Had Trevor been in Fruitland, Idaho, which, boy, that would take him, a week to get there, considering where he lives. She would have been out there with him. She would have been out there with him. And so would Tyler. They would have been out there with him. And if they missed it, they would have made sure to get a hold of him and say, thank you.
Well, here, let's hold on. She thanked me for what I did for Summer before the Wells thanked me. Brandy did.
The Wells didn't thank you.
No, but Brandy did. And that's not
Brandy.
even her child, and her child is missing.
Mm-hmm. Well, what we witnessed the other night, even though I got struck for sharing it, I really didn't care about the creator's nastiness. I wanted everyone to see what Don said to Brandy, because it was absolutely nasty. Nasty. I'll paraphrase. If anyone had a heavy breakfast, you might want to turn it off because it's going to come right back up. When he was talking to Brandy, he didn't know how many days Summer has been missing. She had to tell him. She knows more about the case than he does. He said to her, you never know what they're going through, talking about their missing children. He got very graphic. Back to basements, dungeons, hammers. And she goes, I don't even want to think about that. Every day she's got to keep going. And so does Tyler. I'm sure you heard it, Trevor.
Unfortunately.
I honestly thought with Don Wells, too awesome. Mom says my blood pressure is about to spike. I can feel it. Yep. Take care of yourself. I thought I had heard the lowest of the low, and I heard a whole new low. I heard a whole new low, and I care about Brandy a lot. I care about Tyler a lot, and I was just really upset about what happened to them. Love how Evil Exists put this together.
Mother of missing Michael Joseph Vaughn was on Crime Crazy Critters on the farm just a few days ago, chatting to Don. It's interesting how Don is trying to paint himself as the perfect father, but in the same breath he doesn't even know how many days Summer has been missing for. Let's keep in mind that Don and Candace don't have custody of their 3 boys, and Summer Wells is still missing. They are still possible suspects, as no one has been ruled out in her case yet. In fact, Brandy had to tell him how many days his own daughter has been missing for.
Now that was a jaw dropper. Daisy getting defensive because she was asked something simple by the mother and, getting, somebody put this in your head. That was no jaw dropper. But Don not knowing about his daughter's case, that's what was getting me at least going. That's what made me sick as hell. And then what he was doing to try to get a reaction out of Brandy, it was so sociopathic. It was psychopathic, in my opinion. Trevor, you want to weigh on this?
100% agree. I mean, I was blown away. And, we've seen a lot on these YouTube streets. So to be blown away at this point, it takes a lot.
Yeah. And Rap or Timu, if you guys are familiar with that channel, it's new. I don't know that much about it. He recorded it and said, you guys can share this. I shared it, but Daisy wanted it down, so she put out a community strike. Well, you can't really do that considering I had permission, but all that's going to sort itself out. I mean, it is what it is, And I get it because she didn't want people to know what she said to Brandy. I don't really care. I mean, that was bad enough. Okay, it was. Don't get me wrong. That was bad enough. Simply what should have been done is when Brandy had a simple request, she could have easily said, "Oh, I never thought about that. I'll be more careful." It would have been done, and we wouldn't be sitting here today. We'd be talking about the nasty stuff Don said. Period. Lone Wolf is making it rain. My goodness, Lone Wolf. You guys grab your umbrellas. It's raining. Making it rain. My goodness. When Dawn wasn't, which we talked a few weeks ago about Candace, and she said, well, Summer's been missing 2.5 years, going on 3. I was like, this isn't December. This is September. What do you mean 2.5 years? And why are you saying going on 3? So you don't think she's ever going to be found. What did you think about that, Trev?
It's just sad. It's sad for, it's a joke that they can't even get these things right, but it's sad for Summer because I just wish they cared more, it's been 825 days and so many more people know that, and they're just throwing out these numbers like it doesn't matter.
Well, and Brandy's life is, about advocacy. We were talking last week about Kyron Horman and how his father and his mother, they have billboards, car washes, a foundation, a car show every year. Now, it's suspected heavily that Terry Horman is more than responsible for Kyron's disappearance. And a lot of stuff came out with the book and everything like that. And basically their life is eat, sleep, breathe the disappearance of Kyron. They can't move on. And that's how Brandy is. And that's how Tyler is. And but these two don't really seem to have been bitten by that bug, if you know what I mean. Unless I'm missing something, because there are those pundits that say, that's just how they are. They're very private people. I've seen this dude sit on a toilet with no shirt on and sunglasses at 11 o'clock at night. That's not a private person.
No, and there's no excuse. I'm honestly tired of the excuses. They're private people. They grieve in their own way. There's no excuse for not standing up for your missing child. There's not.
Mm-hmm.
Zero.
No. Private people. Yeah. The John and Jackie Kennedy of East Tennessee. That's just how they are. That's just how they are.
Many days his own daughter has been missing for, and that him and Candace should keep the hope. A lot more went on in that stream. Like Brandy respectfully asked Miss Daisy to not use Michael's name on her stream when she is talking about things like essay, etc. She doesn't want Michael to be associated with any of that, and as a parent I can understand where she is coming from.
And as a parent, I think we can all understand where she's coming from. When you're talking about a missing child, and I know some people, they'll put several missing children in a thumbnail, and they'll just kind of touch on different things. I can't do that. And some do it, and some do it well. Don't get me wrong. Because every missing child's case is different. You cannot compare Michael Vaughn to Harmony Montgomery. You cannot compare Harmony Montgomery to Summer Wells. These are different cases. I don't know. Do I sound crazy, Trev?
No, it makes 100% sense. And they're always going to have differences, and you can't just act like they're all on the same, with the same circumstances, same level, because all the details are going to be different. You know, like in Michael's case, the family is not the focus of the investigation. We have not heard that from TBI.
Quite the opposite. A few weeks ago, I don't know where Don was talking. I just got a clip of it. And he's like, yeah, the police right away thought we had something to do with it. Okay. Well,
Is that proud of?
I'd be at TBI every damn day and say, let's get this cleared up so we can find our daughter. I'm going to sit right here in this room while you talk to Kent. I made sure her shirt is buttoned up right. We brought you an autograph from Chips, and let's get this cleared up. And I want to know what you know. She's our daughter.
At the minimum, he should do it. He says he was at work all day. I'm not saying he was or wasn't, but at that point, it should be easier to take him out of the equation.
Yeah, just take us out of the equation. We had a really, really good show about Susan Smith, if you can call it that. And David Smith said he was getting real irritated that they kept talking to her. Well, we know that she murdered Michael and Alex. He kept saying, can we move on from this? You've asked her these questions over and over. And so he talks to FBI agents in training now, and he says when a child goes missing, you have to shake up that circle, because odds are somebody that knows that child has something to do with it. In Michael's case, that is not the case. Vet Girl, thank you for the super sticker. Vet Girl says lots of subs get caught in the crossfire. They must have been shocked. Don has nothing else he could answer after 2 years to YouTube, in my opinion. Why engage and give someone a platform to toss shade to another mother hurting? There's no excuse for it. I can't agree more. After 2 years, or as Candace says, 2.5 going on 3 years, there's nothing else Don and Candace can say, my friends. There's nothing. You will not see them on this panel. There's nothing else more they can say. And if they do have some fleeting moment and they remember something from June 15th, the number's at the bottom of the screen. 800 TBI find.
As for Don, he said he spent $100 a day just to keep the fridge loaded up for the kids. $100 a day. I'm shocked to hear that, judging from all the other accounts we heard from other people about how Candace never cooked, and the kids ate frozen pizza for dinner. So, where exactly did that $100 go per day? Anyway, then he goes on to talk about how he would tuck Summer in for the night. She would usually wear herself out and then say to Dawn she's tired and wants to go to bed downstairs. He takes her downstairs to the basement, makes sure she's covered up nice and snugly, and then he would sit there a little bit until she went to sleep. Brandy then continued to ask him if he knows how many days Summer is missing for, and he says just over 2 years, but he hasn't added up the days.
He's not that good at math, I guess. He hasn't added them up. He can tell you that it was $100 a day to keep the fridge full, but he hasn't added up the days. He don't fucking know. What the hell? Trevor, help me.
It always comes back to the same question. What's more important? How do you not know? What's more important than that? You should know every detail.
Every detail. And Don has theory after theory after theory. Don B did a video, and he drove down Ben Hill Road. This is September. The leaves haven't started falling yet, so I mean, it would look somewhat similar to June. And Cam and Allie have done it before too. I'm going to play some of that in a little bit. You wouldn't even know there's a house there.
Nope.
You wouldn't even know. You wouldn't even know that that's a driveway. I've seen many videos of it, and it's always crossed my mind. For one, how do you know anyone's home? How do you know Summer's in the basement? I mean, if I saw that driveway, I would just assume it's like a service road to go somewhere. I wouldn't assume it leads to a house. Not that I want to kidnap a child, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, it's in the middle of nowhere. It's up on a hill. behind tree. I mean, it's just, the story isn't plausible. I'm sorry, but it's not. The abduction story, at least that we're being given, is not plausible, in my opinion.
No. No. All right, here's a blast from the past. There's old cue ball himself with his sunglasses on, and he is talking about the disappearance of Summer Wells. Now, there's 3 things you're going to notice missing from this press conference. One would be Don, one would be Can't, and one would be Grandis. But we're supposed to celebrate that they showed up to meet Eric Estrada last weekend. And I highly encourage those of you that are in East Tennessee, if you see a coin pusher machine, please put Summer Wells missing flyer on it. That seems to be where you can catch Candace. If you like to have a bottle of wine every now and then and you go to the liquor store, go find the plastic bottles of whiskey and put a flyer of missing Summer Wells on the bottles of whiskey. Because who we need to reach out to, our target audience, would be the people that were home that day. But that's just my opinion. What do you think? Is that a pretty good idea, Trevor?
I would concur.
That's what I would do.
Over 100 people in the woods searching throughout the whole region. We also have agents with the TBI and the FBI assisting my office. We jointly investigating this whole circumstance. Our main goal is to find Summer and find her safe.
Okay, TBI and FBI are still involved. FBI is not going to be involved if she wandered off her own property. Sorry, they're not. They're not. There have been many cases of not just missing children, but missing adults that go on for years and years and years until there is an outcome. We spoke on Friday about what's been going on in Bardstown, Kentucky. Crystal Rogers went missing in July of 2015. They have finally arrested someone on conspiracy. The FBI even spoke to her mother and said, in the course of this, if we find her, that would be great, but we don't think that's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Guess how many times a week her mother calls the FBI, Trevor?
I'd say a lot.
As soon as they start answering the phone, she is calling them. J.C. Dugard, her mother, in the book that was written, she said, I think it got to a point where they hated me because I wouldn't stop calling. I wouldn't stop calling. They cleared the stepdad, but they don't say it out loud when there's a true abduction. Then you hear from Don, Candace, and Grandis, and they're like, my phone works. They know how to get a hold of me if they need something.
We have plenty of help. We don't need any assistance from the local people. We have the professional people out searching, and we just appreciate everybody, their contributions. It's been a tremendous outpour from the community with the water, the food, and the snacks. It's just overwhelming, and it's a very intense investigation. I know the public needs to know things, but it's ongoing, and we will release things as we can when we can. But our main goal right now is to find Summer.
We'll take a couple of questions, but keep in mind we can't discuss specifics of the investigation. Can you talk about the area back here?
Absolutely. What it looks like from your office? It's very dense. The terrain is tremendously hard.
Okay, I'm going to need your help with this one, Trevor. Now, I told the story about when we had a getaway and we were in East Tennessee and good old OJ got away. And what it took for Greg, and he's a big old guy, to run through the kudzu, the tall grass. He was cut up and everything to go get OJ's furry ass and bring him back to me. I was screaming to find my cat. Then I was screaming at my cat. So he's talking about it's very dense, and it is.
Very.
So right there, he's answering the abduction question. It's very dense. Look behind him. Would you know there's a house behind him?
No.
Then I think about what Don said to Brian Enton, talking about Candace. She probably made the wrong friends. Not talking about Summer. He's talking about Candace. Now, in recent months, 2 children around the same age as Summer, same area, have wandered off. And through the same dense terrain, they have been found.
Mm-hmm. Both of them.
Both of them. Oh, hang on. Vet Girl said, how fast did they find that other little boy that walked off? Wasn't it pretty fast? There's been 2 since Memorial Day, I believe. And I think one took like 12 hours and the other one was, about the same. Help me with that, Trev. I don't remember the exact hours.
I don't either, but it was definitely within like that first day, like the say like 10, 12 hours, yeah. Once they got search crews out there and they were fully involved in the woods and they got him.
Well, little Vady in Alabama, she was chasing her puppy dog and her grandma couldn't keep up with her. Okay. So her grandma, from what I understand, this is years ago. She didn't have very good cell signal and she knew that she was out in the woods and she needed help finding her. And so she got a hold, I believe a passerby was coming by and they called the police. And it took about a day and a half, maybe 2 days. And she was basically just keeping up with her puppy. They took her to the hospital. They got her fed. She wanted macaroni and cheese, I remember. So yeah, if a child wanders off, they're going to find him. Vet Girl says, this is for Trevor for his gas and efforts. Please pass along, Brooks. I certainly will. Trevor, send me your Cash App and I'll send it to you right now. Absolutely. And I know Trevor is always like, oh, I don't feel right about that. But, Trevor doesn't need to be spending his money doing God's work. Okay. Thank you so much, Lone Wolf. Thank you.
Virtually no cell phone service. The radio system we use, which is not that good, we have very little radio communication. We do have.
Okay, I keep interrupting. Sorry. So they've talked a lot about the cell phone service.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Jose explained this and other people who have gone through there, and they say you do lose service. So I want to know how Candace and Don communicated through Facebook Messenger, FaceTime, I guess, from when he left Jonesboro, I believe, to get back to Rogersville. Did they or did they not? That doesn't make sense to me. Because she said she threw her phone down and she had to use her mom's phone. You know more about it than me. Why would her mom's phone work better? But she got a hold of Allie. Because she was calling Hunter to talk to Allie.
It's so weird. And the service thing is so weird because like when I went down to the command post and I had my flyers and stuff, I lost service well before I got there. Like once I'd crossed over the county line, it was almost no service and just none. But then when Justin went live on the 2-year mark, he was able to live stream all the way up onto Ben Hill Road.
So it could just be what tower you're hitting off of. So like
yeah.
AT&T, T-Mobile, Verizon. Okay, that makes more sense.
Or I think if you were already on something and then you get there, like he had been streaming the whole way there, so it just kept going. And maybe if they were calling, maybe it stayed on till then. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Several command posts setting up, but what makes it so hard is the communication between the boots on the ground, searching the woods, and the different agencies and officers, and it's very hard to communicate. And we're not like we're in these small towns or in towns where you got a lot of cell service, and just for instance, when we get texts from the media, you may text and we may get it an hour later, and we have no way to reply to it. And the same way with the officers, and the ECOM Central Dispatch has done an excellent job. TBI has their command post that should arrive soon, and we're going to continue on until we find Summer and put this case to rest.
Do you believe there was foul play involved, and is there any history with this family?
The family are cooperating, and it's really too early to tell. We're still basically just gathering information, and we're in the search mode right now.
Okay, he said the family are cooperating. It's too early to tell. The most recent tweet by TBI said this is absolutely a criminal investigation because we cannot rule out foul play. Now, remember, this was a few days after Summer disappeared. I don't want there to be foul play. I don't want there to be an abduction. Really none of it. I think Summer went through enough in her life. And if she wandered off like that, it makes you wonder, listen to me with my play on words, what was she running off from? Jose said one time it took him an hour to find her because she was so upset. What was she so upset about that they couldn't find her for an hour? It makes you wonder, why could she not be found for an hour? I don't think I ever heard where they found her. One time she was down at the road and Don, was spanking her coming back up the driveway. Do you remember that, Trevor?
Yeah, I remember hearing that story. Don't remember all the details of it, but yeah.
ICU's in here. She can fill it in because she was part of that interview. It was a great interview. It helped us with a lot.
Around 11 this morning, it's switched from missing child alert to an Amber alert. What goes into the decision of putting that Amber alert out? Can you clarify the difference between the two?
Sure. After the initial search, and as we developed more information as part of the investigation, our team made the decision to elevate the alert to an Amber.
Okay, to me, this has always been a very, very, very important statement by Leslie at the TBI. After further investigation, our team escalated this to an Amber alert.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to know what was coming through that let them know that she was in imminent danger.
And the fact
initial search, and as we
sorry, go ahead, Trev.
No, sorry, I was just going to say, and the fact that she wouldn't comment on it. It wasn't just something like she's been missing X amount of hours now. We're even more concerned. She said, because they're going to ask, and she's going to say that she can't comment on it, which is interesting to me too.
We developed more information as part of the investigation. Our team made the decision to elevate the alert to an Amber.
And what's the difference between those two alerts?
An endangered child alert is a mid-level alert where a child could potentially be in danger. An Amber alert is, we issue those when we believe a child is in imminent danger of bodily harm or death, and it's the most severe alert.
Imminent danger, bodily harm, or death. I don't know about you guys. Well, actually, I do, because you're all awesome people. If someone said to me, we're going to escalate your child, let's say my son went off on his bicycle and I was yelling for him and couldn't find him, and they said, we're escalating it, you better believe, unless I was on a stretcher on the way to the hospital for having a freaking breakdown, somebody from our family would be there with law enforcement. Do you know what the excuse is from the supporters why none of them could be bothered with any press conference? Remember, when all this was going on, we didn't really know Don and Candace. we hadn't really heard that much from them. I mean, we saw some nasty pictures of the house, but they said, oh, because of all the haters. Because all the haters. What does it matter? Before law enforcement, and I should not even bring this up, I'm just going to keep it simple. There are other cases of children who have been abducted, and the families are, even before social media, are pinpointed by people in the community. They don't care. They want their child.
Since it appeared to be that she walked away from the home, why was it upgraded to an Amber Alert? Clarify that just a little bit more.
Well, the bottom line is we don't know where she is at this time. Again, there was the initial search. We acted, and the sheriff's office acted on the information available at the time.
This is so important. You hear one of the reporters say, it's been said that she just walked away from her home. Leslie says, we acted on the information we were given. You see, here's the problem with this. We had a clip of a prosecutor, I think it was from News Nation, and he said, every minute matters when a child is missing. And the initial statements from the family is where they have to start investigating. So if they say, oh, I left the playground and I couldn't find Junior, so I came back home to call you guys, they're going to start at the playground. But if they were never at the playground, there's a problem. Listen to it again.
Well, the bottom line is we don't know where she is at this time. Again, there was the initial search. We acted, and the sheriff's office acted on the information available at the time. And as we learned more in the first several hours into today, it led us to issue an Amber Alert.
Well, when the Amber Alert was issued, you said there was new information that led you to believe that Summer might be in more danger. Can you expand on that a little bit?
I can't. That's part of the investigation.
Sheriff Lawson mentioned earlier that he's asking community folks to, if you have enough resources here, how much your best for the community that they feel like they want to help in some regard. How can they help in this time?
If they see something or know something, they need to tell somebody. That's the biggest thing. A lot of people don't want to get involved. They want to reply to us or respond anonymously. That's fine, as long as we find Summer. That's the main thing right now. And we're talking about the Amber Alert. When they raise that up another level, that helps more people paying more attention. You get more clues, you get more calls, and then everybody can call that 1-800-TBI find, and it all goes into a database, which helps us in an area where we don't have a lot of communication anyway. So TBI helps us with that.
And we know the FBI was called in fairly early. Can you kind of explain why that decision was made?
Well, we have an excellent relationship working together. And just like if this case stems outside of Hawkins County, then you have the TBI to help with that. But if it expands on out past the state of Tennessee, then you got the FBI. So we're all on the same page, and we just keep on going.
And when it comes to a missing child, you don't have to worry about them being over state lines. They're going to keep on keeping on. Now, you just sent me a really interesting article about Noah Chamberlain. Now, explain this to me, Trev.
So Noah had gone missing years ago now, but here in Tennessee. And it's just a very interesting article to base when you're hearing this interview, or this press conference, sorry, because you're going to see in that article that the TBI and FBI vetted the family. And it says TBI said they're not going to do an investigation. They're only assisting in the search because they truly believed he had wandered off. And those are, it's in the article. They said they weren't doing an investigation. They had vetted the family, and it turns out he had wandered off. And unfortunately, he was found deceased. But the family was vetted, cleared, and there wasn't an investigation.
Yep, I'm reading it right now. And that was it in East Tennessee? I mean, not that it matters because I mean the TBI works all over Tennessee. Because I'm reading something about inclement weather, and they did find him deceased. But early on, they said that they had vetted the family, and the family is not under investigation. So how come Don, Candace, and Grandis have not been cleared as suspects? We're over 2 years.
Yeah. And see, when they say that they're investigating, when TBI investigates, there's a reason. It says TBI officials said they are still not doing an investigation and are only assisting in the search. They didn't say the same thing in Summer's case.
Nope. Nope. There's a criminal investigation that is currently open.
Working together as a team. All have the same goal. Let's find Summer.
One more question.
Can you expand on maybe just the area where you guys are searching? Maybe if people see something in a certain area, they should be on a heightened alert if they're in a certain area or part of town.
Sure. Can you expand on the area?
Well, the train and stuff, just like you see here. This is what the people are searching in. But if they seen something yesterday evening or afternoon that we need to know, that's when they need to make the call or come by the command post.
Any kind of landmarks and sort of an area that you're searching
Just
everywhere?
around Ben Hill Road in that area. That's the main, because she's 5 years old and she left the house, and evidently she got a little farther than they expected.
Do you have any idea how much territory your volunteers and searchers are covering?
A lot. We have so many out there that they've broadened the scope. Plus, we've been able to utilize aircraft. THP's been wonderful with their helicopter and the medical helicopters with THP's FLIR at night. They've been flying today, and it's just outstanding how the community's come to help us, plus all the different resource agencies and the rescue squads and EMSs and all the law enforcement. And we just hope that we have a great result when we find Summer.
At this time, we're following up on any and all leads. Again, thank you for being here. We encourage the public to call in any credible information to 1-800-TBI-FIND, and we continue to hold out hope for the best possible outcome.
Credible. These early press conferences, I think, is so important. And law enforcement, I can't say it about Ronnie, they're very calculated in what they release to the public because, well, we're really not on the same playing field. As much as it is frustrating, it's also important. Do you want to touch on that, Trev?
Yeah, no, definitely. TBI will release only what they feel is vital to the case or needs to be said to the public. Because, for example, recently when there was a child missing, and they didn't even release, they said that she was with an unidentified male, and they didn't even release who that male was, and they found her. Because what I assume is that they already had a good enough idea where she was, they didn't need to go forward with that information. So they're very careful on what they say and what they don't say.
Extra AF just had a boom moment. A plea from the parents would have fit in perfectly there.
13 days. Took Candace 13 days to even go on camera.
Well, Coin Pusher Candace had other stuff to do. And as you know, it's Motabolizm Monday. If we see her changing stories and the fact that she can't keep anything straight from the 15th, June 15th, 2021, then we know that law enforcement knows. I have a feeling from the 911 call to when they got there, something wasn't adding up. They said through additional information that was received by our office, we escalated this to an Amber Alert for imminent danger and death. Now, mind you, you basically have an army out there looking for Summer. But they're preparing for the worst. This is when old Can't decided to talk to Ernie. Now, don't get it twisted. She was basically in love with Ernie. Okay? She was. She talked about the script. Let's talk about that for a second.
But I'm letting you know how I feel about the whole script. Right.
Now, I understand she's probably a little inebriated there. But what's the script? And why would there be a script?
Right. See, when people point out that a TV show is fake, they say what? It's scripted. When it's not true, when it's not reality. Here she is, the script.
Then, of course, we have the ever-changing stories from Jody Sue, which, let me tell you what, I wouldn't hitch my cart to that pony at all. But one minute, Jody Sue hears a scream. The next minute, she was nowhere around. And how would Candace know anyway?
So she said, so the scream, of course, is out of the question now, right? There was no scream, right? There's no scream, dude. She's mixed all that shit up. Lie. I can't lie. It's not in my metabolism.
It's not in her metabolism. But then she tells Prayer Garden that she saw Jody Sue standing on the corner and couldn't figure out what she was doing there because she said Jody Sue's normally not out during the day. You've got to be kidding me. Hang on, I gotta see this real quick. I missed a comment. Where Summer says Candace wants to be friends with Daisy so that way she can keep in touch with Ernie and still talk to him that way. I never thought about that. Because she gets all kinds of antsy in the pantsy when she sees Earn the Burn. Here we go.
Hey, what's up? What are you doing, bud? Man, don't let all them idiots talk to you like that. Oh, I'm not.
Hang on, is that the same shirt she wore to see Eric Estrada? Not that it matters. I mean, this isn't fashion time. Looks a little faded. That's the same damn shirt. So is that her getting it on shirt? You know, we all have that special outfit when we get spiffed up. That's the same damn shirt. Woo!
At least she buttoned it for Ernie.
Woo! Go ahead, Trevor.
At least she buttoned it for Ernie, I guess.
She wanted to unbutton it for Ernie.
Yeah.
Hell, she had on that edible underwear that smelled like bologna, and he got the hell out of there. That's the same shirt. I mean, I know when I want to have a special night out on the town, I mean, I have a dress that I know my husband likes, and I put it on, and dadgum. Well, somebody she thinks, look at that face, somebody she thinks likes her in plaid. Is it buttoned right in this? I don't know. I'm way off topic. All right, let's get to it.
I'm not. I'm just, getting things ready just in case. Passing it all on. Yeah, fuck all them idiots, man. Them fucking retards don't mean shit, dude. You know how it is. Yeah, I know.
She said those fucking retards don't mean shit, dude. What a thing to say. It's a sad day in America when Don's telling people, like he did the other night, you're going to look like an idiot if you do this. If Don calls you an idiot, I wouldn't leave the house for a long time. If Candace calls you a retard, which I can't stand when people use that word, well, I feel pretty damn bad about myself.
Them fucking retards don't mean shit, dude. You know how it is. Yeah, I know. Yeah, you're better than that, man. You got a heart, big as gold, dude. Don't let them fuck with you like that. But here's the thing about it there. I mean, I can't say that, something, because something may just happen. I just don't want to let people down in a way, I guess. Something always might happen. That's the way life is. Well, look, check this out. Like I told you the other night.
Okay, but listen to what she says to earn the burn. She says, something always happens. That's just how life is. What are we referring to? That really makes me sick.
We have to take that first step first. After that first step, it gets easier, right?
Oh yeah, everything's easier after the first step.
So there. Just gotta let it as it is.
You probably can't hear
Now
me
you
over
do know.
music. Hold on.
Now you do know that Benny's getting ready to call you, right?
Oh, okay, and I'm worried why.
Woo! Gangster Candace. Okay, so earn the burn saying Benny's getting ready to call you. Love triangle she thinks she has going on, but what Candace has never understood, even now, is that these people that befriend her, they don't care about her. They don't. It's like Dutch door action. They screw her over unless she gets to it first. Have you noticed that trend, Trevor?
Well, of course. And it comes back to, like I asked before, who from before Summer went missing has come out in their defense or as their friend?
Robin's hung around and I can't figure out why, but everybody else got the hell out of Dodge.
Yeah, and Robin seemed to distance some, at least. I mean, I know she's around for some of it, but not like she didn't have as much of an online presence, I guess.
And Candace says she screws everybody over. Because you would think, and that was one thing in the beginning I thought was odd. Of course, they weren't at press conferences. They weren't putting anything out. Like, she was fighting with people in news articles is what she was doing.
Mm-hmm.
She had all kinds of names to call people, dick licker, you name it. And it went from she was pouring cereal and Summer just walked out the door to she was doing dishes and Summer just walked out the door. And then dun, 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 we got she was in the basement. She walked her over during planting flowers. And 2 minutes later, she walked in and asked the boys, where's Summer? Why would you ask where Summer's at if you just walked her in her own home? Why?
None of it makes sense. None of it.
If let's just say that you tell your boss, I'm going to go to my office. 2 minutes later, would your boss go, where's Trevor? Oh, he went to his office.
Yeah.
No.
Of course not.
Something's going to have to make sense, and none of this makes sense.
I'm just telling you, it always happens. Anytime you're talking to me, he calls. Maybe he wants. Would that fit his head?
All right, so let the fucker call. I mean, they ain't gonna fit his head.
You don't think it would? I don't know.
He ain't got enough brain up there to fit his head.
Oh, Lord, mercy. How's your day today? What are you doing? What is that? Is that bookshelf behind you?
Yeah,
Ooh, I like that hat.
Yeah.
Let me see that hat. Let me see that hat.
The one I'm wearing?
Yeah, let me see that. What's it say?
Nashville, Tennessee.
That's pretty cool. I like that hat.
Yeah.
It's pretty nice.
I got that given to me a long time ago by a good friend of mine.
Sweet. How old is it?
Yeah. Well, about 20 years old.
This was given to me by a good friend of mine. How old is it? About 20 years old. Do what? The hat might be 20 years old, but nobody gave it to you 20 years ago because you weren't living in Tennessee 20 years ago. You weirdo. I have a feeling she got it when she tried to go to the Upchurch concert and he told his security to get her the hell out of there.
Yeah.
I've had it for like 20 some years.
Wow. Looks old, looks vintage. It looks nice. Nice hat.
Yeah, I only wear it every once in a while. Excuse me.
No, Candace, when it comes to it, the way I look at it, I really, I've never met you. I've never seen you in real life. I've only met you, like talking to you and talking to you through here and on the phone. But I just felt that I failed you. Right. I really did. I felt that I failed you. And, we had this big hunt that we could have done and this big search that I could.
Stop saying that, man. You haven't failed nobody, man. Why do you gotta think like that, man? Think of positive shit.
Well, like, I'm not using, but you gotta be, but like Don said, though, even in the phone call with me, you gotta be real about it. You gotta think what's real. I can't just say bullshit and think that, something crazy.
You gotta think what's real, of course.
You gotta think, what's really going on.
But you can't sit there and say that somebody failed you if they've never met you, don't know who you are for real, and only met you on the phone. You can't say that.
Right.
And I won't let you say that.
Well, that means a lot.
So she's more concerned about Earn the Burns feelings than when he's basically saying, I was going to do this search. Now, let me tell you, I don't put a lot of quarters in that coin pusher machine, if you know what I mean, when it comes to Earn the Burn going to do all these searches. But it tells you where her mind is. How dare you say that, Earn? How dare? Don't you blame yourself. Now, you know how many mothers that are looking for their children, they'd say, well, let's get to it. What do you want to do?
Yeah.
What do you want to do?
That means a lot to me. I just keep going back to the connections of it, and I can't move past that.
Well, you have to move past that.
Well, I'm talking about I know that. Don't you be giving me no one. I'll be throwing an elbow at you.
He goes, I just can't get past all the connections of it. Now, I don't know what Earn the Burn's talking about it. And listen to her. She shuts him up. She wants to have her taster's choice moment and figure out her next pair of underwear she's going to put on and dye her hair and stuff. Well, you got to move past that. Don't worry about any of that. Don't worry about connections and searches. Let's talk about you and me, Earn. Let's talk about us. It's sickening. Ernie should have taken one for the team, but he didn't.
I'm talking about the part where I told you what I thought happened. And I just can't move past it. It's hard. When he said, and I don't want to get into that.
No, I have listened to you, and I've listened to you over and over. Don't think that I don't hear you.
I know you do. And you're right.
All right. And Benny is out here to play games and get whatever money he can get. And that's all Benny gives a fuck about.
Benny's out here to play games and get whatever money he can get. Again, this is not about Summer. Are you picking up the vibe of this conversation? And every time Earn the Burn tries to bring it back to Summer, a search, connection, she's like, oh, you just have to get over all that. Let's talk about you and me, Earn.
Yeah, no, she's deflecting the conversation she's redirecting everything away from Summer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because every time he tries to get on the subject of Summer, she turns it away. I'm telling you, had he taken one for the team? Is anyone in here? I mean, Candace is kind of an easy lay. Anybody in here, doesn't matter. You can be missing all your toes. Anybody want to take one for the team?
I understand that.
And you can't tell me that I'm fucking full of shit either on that.
So is he splitting money with people or something like that, or how's that work?
I don't know. Motherfucker ain't got me a dime. I promise you that.
He hasn't given me a dime, I promise you that. She was really pissed about that skydiving money because he had supposedly collected a bunch of money to take her ass skydiving. And she's like, you didn't give me no money. But then she complains that another creator, that she was supposed to give her some of the money that she collected on her platform. What is she doing with all this money? She didn't have a job before, so what does it matter now? She didn't get off her lazy ass before June 15th of 2021, and nobody knew who she was. So what does it matter now? What does she need money for now? She's not handing out flyers. She's not putting up billboards. You have to twist her damn arm to get her to talk to any news source. She flipped out on Dr. Phil. It's not helping me. But she's cool as a cucumber when she talks about what goes into her coin pusher machine. Have you noticed that, Trevor?
Always. Or if Summer comes up, she suddenly is losing connection on a panel. That happens.
That is so important you said that, because when the focus is on Summer, suddenly she loses connection. See, if she's got to call 911 on Don, she's got 5 bars. If she's getting a cash app, it comes right through. You can hear her phone. Cha-ching!
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got it. Cha-ching! Yeah, I got it. Anything else? Nope.
Let me ask you a question. Did Don have his own separate cash app?
No, Donnie has never had a cash app, ever.
What
He
about
wouldn't even
PayPal?
know what that is.
I didn't think you would.
Never had that either.
Okay.
No. Donnie didn't even know what Facebook was until I introduced him to it.
Okay, so there she is with a cigarette hanging out of her mouth. But we're supposed to believe that when she bought that vape, Hunter said she owed me a vape. I still want to know, I probably don't want to know, why she would owe a minor child a vape. She tells Chris McDonough that vape was for me. Skittles. She couldn't even think of the flavor. It's the only one I use. If you vape, you know. You're like, oh, I get watermelon or cherry cola, or I get mint or whatever. Oh, Skittles. She got it for Hunter. You have never seen her with a vape. When she spoke to her daughter that was raised by the state of Wisconsin, she didn't ask for vape money. She asked for cigarette money. So he's asking, do you have Cash App? She's like, yeah, Cash App and PayPal. She doesn't mention a Venmo. But we were all supposed to empty our coin pusher coins and give it to Candace because she said her Venmo was hacked. She's never had one. She's never had one. Lisa said, hey, Brooks, can you get this to Trev? Thanks. You damn right I will. You damn right I will. Trevor needs to turn on his super chats and the whole 9 yards, because this stuff is not cheap. But I have a feeling Trev won't do it. We'll do it a different way. Okay, so there she is with a cigarette hanging out of her mouth. Earn the burn, trying to look like Indiana Jones, talking to her.
Right. Awesome. So, would you say that Don was kind of a mysterious kind of person when you talked to him about what happened?
Don is a very mysterious person.
Trevor, you've had several conversations with Don. I know I have. Let me ask you this. Do you consider Don to be a mysterious figure?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, good. It wasn't working for a few minutes. Definitely had some interesting conversations with Don. Yeah. I know, like you said, you have as well.
Well, but the metaphor mysterious never came across. He never struck me as mysterious.
No. Aggressive. Might fit better, but no, not mysterious. He seems pretty straightforward. Sometimes too straightforward.
Mm-hmm.
But there doesn't seem to be much of a mystery with what he wants to say. He's not one to beat around the bush.
No. Mm-mm. Nope. 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 Mm-mm. Nope. There was no mystery in all the times I've talked to him. No way.
Wow.
Oh.
Let me ask you a question. What's something that you've asked Don about, and then he's totally just got mad about it with? Like literally, like it just set him off, like something that to set him off.
Okay, like I'll ask him about who he's talking to on the phone. That really pisses him off.
Let me ask you a question. When he's around,
and that really pisses him off. I ask him who he's talking to. She doesn't want him talking to Cher. That really gets her. Did it not piss him off when he found out you were sleeping with other men when he went to Utah? Kidding me? But it makes him mad when she asks, who are you talking to on the phone? All of that started because he was talking to Cher. Cher kept him talking. People can say whatever they want about Cher. There was even people associated with law enforcement that said, let him keep talking.
Around you, when he's around you and he's sitting here doing this right here, when he lays his phone down, does he lay it where it's holding up like this?
Yeah.
Or does he lay it where it's down like that?
No, it's usually upside down where nobody can see anything.
Right. Why do you think he does that?
I don't know. I just figure because he don't want me to know who he's talking to.
Right, exactly. What's the worst thing you've ever caught him doing? Nothing crazy now. Nothing crazy.
No. I'm not even going to say this online because no.
Okay.
I can't do that.
Okay.
No.
So
that's something I'd have to tell you in confidential, in private.
Okay.
Okay, Earn the Burn has always believed that Don and Don alone, unless he's just trying to play Candace, something to do with Summer's disappearance. Now, again, here we have the Jackie Kennedy of East Tennessee. Oh, that's something I've got to tell you confidential. Bring her a jug of whiskey. She'll tell you whatever you want to know. What would be the craziest thing Dawn has ever done that she's too shy to tell anyone?
I don't even want to guess.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that.
But oh gosh, there's about 1,000 things I could think of, but
right. Do you ever just I've never been to your house. I don't know what it looks like. Is it like a little trail that goes into the woods and stuff?
Man, I don't know. I don't go out in these woods.
Okay.
I stay right here at the front porch and right here where the vehicles are, and that's all the further I go. I don't go into the woods or into any freaking stupid trails or whatever anybody has said.
Right. And I'm not going to talk about nothing that's going to trigger nobody because that ain't what it's.
Okay, she doesn't go in the woods. She's scared of bears and snakes and coyotes and wolves and all that stuff. She's a real Little Red Riding Hood. What would stop you from going into the woods if you can't find your child? And we don't actually know the time when she supposedly couldn't find Summer. She's never going to talk about anything that matters. Now she's hanging her head because she's not liking this conversation.
I thought she had, the story we're fed is that she went and looked. So you mean tell me you search for your daughter, but you don't know if there's a trail or anything about the woods? Where'd you look?
Yeah, no trail, nothing.
Well, she doesn't even know. She says, I don't know. I don't go out there. Did you not go out there when you know your child was missing?
So if she won't go in the woods, how come she went on all those damn camping trips with Kathy? I'm pretty sure there were woods around there. Did they go camping in the middle of a damn parking lot? Explain that to me. That whole Amazon wish list was for her and Kathy's summer and fall until Dawn got out of jail. Unbeknown to Kathy, she was going to jump ship as soon as Dawn got out of jail. She thought she was going to divorce Dawn, the whole 9 yards. So you are telling me, oh, I don't go in the woods. But all of that stuff on the Amazon wish list was for them to go camping. It's raining again. Thank you, Angel P. Thank you so much, Angel P. So explain to me how she gets all this camping equipment from her Amazon wish list. She goes camping several times with Kathy, according to Kathy. But about the day that her daughter goes missing, I don't go in the woods. I don't go in the woods.
It's about tonight. I'm just trying to, do what I need to do and get everything situated before I've got to do what I got to do. But,
all right. I hear you.
So,
I hear you.
Are you happier now, Candace?
Am I happier? Well, I'm
Now,
happy, but I'll be really happy when I get my boys back. When I get my babies back, then I'll be really happy.
Right.
I mean, I'm okay. I'm happy to a point. I mean, it's just me and the dogs here, but I'm happy to a point. But without my kids, I'm not really happy.
Okay, let's discuss this comment. And I'm really not trying to pick her apart. Don't get it twisted. How could anyone say, well, I'm happy to a point, but I'll be happier when I get my boys back? Then she corrects herself. Listen to it again. Have you ever heard this, Trev?
Yeah.
I think Trev's probably thrown up in his mouth. Uh-huh. I've heard it. Yep. She says the boys. That's what's on her mind. I'll be happier when I get my boys back. Then she realizes that that was not a wise statement, and she backtracks and tries to correct it.
Are you happier now, Candace?
Am I happier? Well, I'm happy, but I'll be really happy when I get my boys back. When I get my babies back, then I'll be really happy.
Right.
I mean, I'm okay. I'm happy to a point. I mean, it's just me and the dogs here, but I'm happy to a point. But without my kids, I'm not really happy.
Right.
My kids were my world, my everything. Anything that ever meant to me were my kids.
Well, you see, they are your world, not were your world. They are your world. Remember that. Always have that.
Right.
You got to be positive.
Sorry.
Yeah, see, that didn't occur to her, and I'm so glad he said that to her. Are your world, not were. See, everything's past tense to them, and it has been since the first time we heard from them. Happy, not happy, until I get my boys back. Then she was my babies back. You can't just say kids. I want all my children back. And then, of course, we hear past tense again. Tell me if I'm too far reaching.
Yeah, I mean, I might have said it backwards, but
it's okay.
They are my world.
We
and
understand.
I don't want.
Without
them, I can't go on living and breathing. Period. End of discussion.
Right. Let me ask you a question. If you could say one thing.
She said, without them, I can't go on living and breathing. End of discussion. Well, she seems to be living and breathing just fine to me. She's putting on weight. She's been going swimming. She got to meet the dude from Chips. She's been playing coin pusher. Seems like she's okay to me. Trevor, have you ever played coin pusher before?
I have not, but all this conversation about coin pusher has now got me random ads and videos for coin pusher, so I see it.
I tagged Don in a Facebook last night, and I said, get this for Candace. You can play it on your phone, and somehow it got deleted. I'll try it again today.
One thing to your daughter. What would it be?
One thing to my daughter.
I mean, you can say a sentence. If you could say a sentence or a phrase to her, or a paragraph, what would you say? Anything.
I'm praying and hoping that whoever has her and whoever has done something with her will please bring her back home to me, because I miss her and I love her with all my heart.
Now let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
You said whoever has her, right?
Yeah, because I don't know.
I know that. I know you don't know. Do you know if
you're fucking making me
cry? What's that? It's all right. It's okay.
You're gonna make me cry, dude.
It's okay, sweet. It's okay. Candace, I know you got 14 years with a man. I know that. I know that. I know that. This is crushing you, Candace. It's crushing you.
Oh.
It's crushing
you. I mean, wouldn't it anybody that lost a child or a child that has passed anything like that? I mean, who the hell wouldn't it crush? Oh.
Let me ask you a question, Candace. You think is it crushing Don right now?
I don't know. He says it does, but I don't know.
How does he act? You see how it's doing you? You see how it's doing you in your heart right now? If you put a mirror onto him, is he showing the same results right now as you are? Is he having the same symptoms as you?
Green Eyes, you have such a great point. She can't answer naturally. All of this takes thought. It takes thought. Hello, Brandy. Brandy says, hello, CLO family. Dropping by to show all some love. I'll be listening, but I'm really ill right now. Oh, Trevor is an extraordinary young man. What's wrong, Brandy?
Well, thank you, Brandy, and I'm sorry to hear you're sick. Definitely praying for whatever's going on.
Absolutely. All right, so Candace starts the whoever has her. The other day, Tim Mullins put this up. We have no idea how Summer Wells got off the property. What we want to know is, who got her next? I don't know about you guys, but when this came across my news feed, I was pretty damn sick.
Me too.
This is damn creepy. Damn creepy to say something like that. Common Sense True Crime said that word next. Kiki said that is sick. That is sick. Yes, Brandy is an amazing mother. Actually, I hate to switch things up, but let me ask you guys this. Put a 1 in the chat if you believe Brandy has been brainwashed to confront creators when she feels her son is not being portrayed and respected in a certain way. Or a 2 if you think that she's just trying to do the right thing for her son. I'll start with Trevor. He's in the hot seat. I probably confused that too much.
Well, I'm going with 2. And I think, honestly, that assumption is wildly disrespectful because it's implying that Brandy can't think for herself. And I personally think Brandy's a very smart person. And for anybody to assume that she can't think for herself is wildly disrespectful, in my opinion.
Huh? Well, I mean, she, anytime that Michael is tagged in something, she's going to look at it because that's her son.
Yeah.
And she was watching a stream where this creator was talking about Michael, but then when Candace was in chat, she put Candace up, changed the title to Candace Joins Panel. So as the mother of a missing child, when you see something like that, then you know where they stand. So if you were questioning anyone's character, you know it now. And it's been going on for a very long time. Absolutely sick.
I'm not there. I don't know. I don't see him.
But you talk to him on the phone, and I can hear it through your voice, just as plain as day. Do you hear it through his voice when he talks to you?
I talked to him on the phone. Okay, today I talked to him on the phone, and for the first time since he's been there, this is the first time I have heard him even be upset or hurt or anything like that. Today was the first time I've ever heard that in his voice.
Is he hurt because of Summer, or is he hurt because he's in jail? What do you think?
I can't really tell, honestly. I mean,
right. You know that night that I was talking to him? You know that night that I was talking to him on the phone when he hit you?
Yeah, I heard about it.
When he hit you, when he was hitting you, right?
Yeah, well, let's not go over that, please.
That's not. That's
I'd
not.
rather not.
I understand.
Yeah, I just don't want to go back into there.
Maybe when I get out of my little situation, me and you can have a little talk, heart to heart.
Yeah.
You can buy me some spaghetti.
Yeah. Why don't I just make it? Why buy it?
Hell no, I ain't gonna shit. We're gonna meet out in a nice little public restaurant or something like that.
Good call, Earn the Burn. I damn sure wouldn't go up to Ben Hill Road for her to make you some spaghetti. He goes, no, we'll go somewhere public. You couldn't pay me enough to go on that property. You couldn't pay me enough to be around that family. You've got 2 living people that have disappeared. Oh, hell no. We're going out in public, can't. Did you catch that, Trevor?
Yeah, and I cannot blame him.
Woo! Look at Earn. Damn. Listen to what he says. Oh, hell no. She's like, I want you to come up here so I can make you some spaghetti. Italian can't.
You know, I can't really tell, honestly. I mean,
right. You know that night that I was talking to him? You know that night that I was talking to him on the phone? When he hit you?
Yeah, I heard about it.
When he hit you? Yeah. When he was hitting you, right?
Yeah, well, let's not go over that, please.
That's not.
I'd rather not.
I understand.
Yeah, I just don't want to go back into there.
Maybe when I get out of my little situation, me and you can have a little talk, heart to heart.
Yeah.
You can buy me some spaghetti.
Yeah. Why don't I just make it? Why buy it?
Hell no, I ain't gonna shit. We're gonna meet out in a nice little public rafraid or something like that.
What, you might be I'm gonna kill you or something?
I don't know. Hey, I met a girl one time, she tried to eat me.
Oh my God. Look, I ain't killed nobody fixing my spaghetti.
But you're growing stronger, Ken.
She said, I've never killed nobody making my spaghetti.
Miss Strange, hey Strange, let me make you spaghetti.
When the world catch your eyes like a big pizza pie, that's amore. I ain't never killed nobody making my spaghetti. Woo! Damn.
Candace, a lot stronger now.
I'm trying to.
Have you had anything to eat today?
Do you have any food this morning?
Do you have any food?
Man, I'm not worried about food. I don't worry about money. I don't care about all that bullshit. All I care is my daughter and my boys. That's the only thing I care about.
Yeah, but she just said, he's like, have you had anything to eat today? She's like, oh, I'm not worried about food. I'm worried about money. I'm not picking on anyone's looks or anything like that, but it appears to me that over the years, Candace has gained weight. So somebody's feeding her. Yeah, she acts like freaking Cher from Moonstruck, the Italian cook. I heard her on some channel and she was talking about how she makes goulash and spaghetti. I think it was Thunder Sky Studio that clipped it. I can't remember. And she goes, oh, hell no, I don't. She goes, I just use ketchup. Now, how many of you would eat a bunch of boiled noodles with ketchup on it and call it spaghetti? Does that sound good to you, Trev?
It's definitely not. It does not sound like spaghetti.
No. God, no.
Let me ask you a question. One more thing. And I'm trying to get off of it too because it hurts me too. It makes me spit up blood. But
well, don't do that, dude.
No, I'm okay. Listen, that is a good movie. I want you to watch that if you get a chance. Okay.
All right. Watch 411.
Yeah. What? Not no damn YouTuber. Watch the movie 411.
Yeah, I'm reading it across the thing. I ain't tell her to watch 411. I get it.
Okay.
I heard
It's a movie.
Yeah, the movie 411. Yeah, got it.
Right. So let's do this. Look at you. I got your undivided attention right now. It's like a little school person in class sitting there waiting, like, teacher, what am I learning now?
All ears.
Okay, you're all ears.
Exactly.
Okay,
what are you going to tell me now?
Okay, so check this out. Just one more question. I don't know how to say it. I don't want to offend you, and I don't want to do that because we're friends, and I don't want to do that.
Just fucking say it.
Okay, I'll say it.
Damn.
I've heard, and I don't know if it's a fact or not, that Don, your husband, used to take showers with Summer. Is that true?
No.
Did. Okay. He never took showers with her or nothing like that. And that's true. That's not true, right? Okay.
No.
Okay.
He never did.
Did he ever
I
burn?
took showers with Summer.
You took showers with Summer. Okay. Did he ever? Did you ever see him act any way like abusive towards Summer?
No. I can
Any kind of-
honestly say that Donnie loves Summer with all his heart. You know, boys are gonna be boys, so it's different when a little girl comes in the picture because that's a daddy's girl,
Okay.
right?
Hold on a
Okay,
second.
that's
Hold
the
on.
way it is.
Okay, this is where things get real nasty and real convoluted. You might want to back out because it's gross. Okay? Now, say that I'm telling tales out of school because I'm certainly not trying to. She says boys will be boys, but it's different when a girl comes around. Now, when Don took their oldest son to Utah, it has been said it is not because their oldest son was doing anything wrong. He was a little more concerned about the oldest son and what Candace had been up to. And when I heard that, it was a puzzle piece that really hurt my heart and made me sick. We heard about the kid in Arkansas. We have heard about poor Hunter. Has it ever crossed your mind, Trevor? And no, we are not accusing. This is Don's words.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying anything did or didn't happen, but there's a lot that definitely crosses your mind or is of concern.
And I'm not going to play the clip because God only knows what would happen.
Did you know that Don told Molly Golightly that he did take showers with Summer?
No, I did not know that.
There's a video recording of it, of him saying he did.
I didn't know that.
Hold on a second. Can someone, can anyone get a video recording of that? If that did happen, did take place? Like I said, I don't know much about the case. If that did take place, let me ask you a question, Candace. If that did take place and you see a video of him saying that, how are you going to feel?
I'm going to flip the fuck out, man. I'm going to flip the fuck out for real.
So if you hear a video of him saying, yeah, I took showers with Summer,
I'm going to fucking go off. I'm
going to go off. She knew it. She knew it. She knew it. Well, I'm going to go off. No, you would call the police. He's already in jail, Candace. You would call him and say, he was showering with my daughter. My daughter is missing. Oh, I'm going to go off. Who cares if you go off? Those are just words. Those are just words. They have shit on each other.
How would you not know?
Shit on each other. She even said when True was there, Dawn took off Summer's clothing and it was time for them to go to bed. And she said, Donnie sleeps naked, so I have to put a blanket on him. When they were in Arkansas and the police showed up, she said, hang on, let me get my husband. He sleeps naked. Go ahead, Trev.
How would she not know? It's my question. She lives with the man and lived there with him and with their kids. If he was doing that, how would she not know? How would you not know he's in the bathroom? And I mean, how do you not know? If that was happening, how are you just completely unaware?
Well, if Jose knew, she knew. Oh, I'm going to go off. I hate when people say that. Oh, I'm going to go off. What's it matter if you go off? People can bitch up a storm every day. It's not going to change anything. The man was in jail at the time for violation of parole. Why didn't she say, send me that video and I'm going to get a hold of someone, because that's disgusting. Go ahead, Trev.
Yeah, no, that your daughter's missing. How do you not? First off, like I said, how do you not know? But then if you're just somehow finding out, how's that not like red flags just start beaming?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Now, when my boys were little, yeah, I would take baths with them. When they were like old enough to sit up, I'm like, hand me a baby, put the baby in here, wash off, dry off the baby. I mean, yeah. But no, not when they're old enough to understand the difference between man and woman. Why did she not report Don for that? Why did Don not bring his fears about what he thought was going on out into the public? Not to the public, but to the authorities. I apologize.
None of it makes sense.
Well, it does. We just can't, we're not wired that way.
I'm gonna flip the fuck out, man. I'm gonna flip the fuck out for real.
So if you hear a video of him saying, "Yeah, I took showers with Summer,"
I'm gonna fucking go off. I'm gonna. Ooh. Somebody better have bail money.
Well, you can't get to him, obviously. Now, come on, you can't get to him. Now, let me ask you a question with this. If I
listen to Big Talk. Somebody better have bail money. She just got done saying she's worried about money and she's about to make a spaghetti ketchup dinner for Earn the Burn. Somebody better have bail money. He goes, well, you can't get to him now. He's in jail. This would be a perfect time to turn this in. Guess what she did? She went camping with Kathy.
That is true. Are you going to call him at jail on his little machine there? What would you say to him? What would you say to him?
No, I'm gonna wait until he calls me tomorrow, and then I'm gonna unleash something that has never been unleashed before.
Really?
Yeah, because that is unacceptable.
These people in the chat.
I mean, don't play with me, dude. Do not play with me.
Listen.
Do not.
Listen. Look at this, Melanie. Read across the screen, Candace. I won't lie to you. Read it. There's a reason I asked that because I know you didn't know about it. Read across the screen, Candace. Don did say that. I heard it too. He did say it a few times. Yes, Don definitely said it. I did. It did. I heard him saying it. He did. How did she miss that? You see, I know you missed that. That's why I asked the question, Candace. You see, I'll let you talk now. But he did say it. If I had the video, he said it online. He said it live on YouTube, Candace.
Fuck no, man. Fucking no.
Candace, they heard the interview. Look at this. All these people here heard it. He said he had to take showers with her because Candace wouldn't or didn't, and that is the biggest line of BS I've ever heard. He did it because he wanted to, is what they're saying. It's okay, Candace. You're not in trouble, Candace. You're the victim. I told you that at the beginning. I told you that. But it's up to you to unleash that, what you know. You see what I'm saying? It's okay. It's okay. Unleash what you know, Candace. Do it for your daughter.
Now Earn the Burn is popping knuckles, so you know shit's getting real, and Candace is pretending to cry. We've seen Candace really cry, and it's when she's got her ass in a ringer. We've seen her on Dr. Phil. She wouldn't move. She was like a deer in headlights. Now what we have is fake cry bly.
These people here, 550 support you, Candace. They support you.
Okay, after being confronted with the truth, guess what? You guys are never going to believe this. She lost service.
Every time.
She lost service. So there's Earn left there with no prom date. She lost service. He goes, Candace. You need to tell what you know. She loses service. Snow said Ernie came so close too many times. Well, I tell you what would have sealed that deal. Little bit of horizontal boogaloo. Do you think Ernie came close to cracking her? She was either going to turn on Don or she was going to let certain things out, is what it seemed to me.
I think so. I'm not a huge fan of Ernie, but I do think that he got her close. I think she was actually comfortable with him and was comfortable in talking about the situation. See, she's comfortable with people she goes on panel with now, but only when she doesn't have to talk about the case. She was comfortable with him and would actually talk about it. She doesn't do that anymore.
No, she even flat out says, we're not here to talk about Summer. We're here to talk about how Cher keeps calling Donnie. We're here to talk about how evil PG is. We're Team Summer, but we're not talking about her tonight. That's what she does. Good old can't. And again, she talks about how Jody Sue lies all the time. But I have a feeling she lied in that interview with Earn the Burn when she lost service.
I don't know about Jackie Dobbs. I've just heard about him. I don't know about Jody Sue. I've talked to Jody Sue time and time again. And every time she talks to me, her story has changed.
Like in how?
Okay, like, for instance, like, she said that she was down on the bottom after she heard somebody scream or whatever. She was never at the bottom of that driveway. I drove down there faster than she could fucking fly.
Okay. So she said, so the scream, of course, is out of the question now, right? There was no scream, right?
There's no scream, dude. She's maced all that shit up. Why? I can't lie. It's not in my metabolism.
Okay.
Now, if she was standing down there, was that after Summer had came up missing?
I don't know when she got down there. I just know when I drove down to my mom's truck, she was down there.
Okay.
Was she already looking, or was she doing something different?
She was just standing on the corner.
Very, very interesting.
Right.
Was it surprising, you coming down the drive knowing your daughter?
Yeah, because usually Jody Sue don't walk around. Why? I can't lie.
How the hell would she know what Jody Sue does during the day? I'm not picking on Jody Sue, but let's face it, she's more of a night owl. She's like, she was standing on the corner of a dead-end road. She's like, she just lies all the time. She's like, she just lies out her ass. She just lies. I didn't see her out there. And then she's like, well, she was just standing on the corner, so she could have taken Summer.
Was she just staring at trees?
Yeah, what was she doing? Having an affair with the tree trimmer? By the way, the tree trimmers have all been cleared. They've talked to people, they've talked to cars that have gone through that were on that road. Summer did not disappear between 6 o'clock and 6:34 when that 911 call was made. TBI put their thumb on Cant's neck and said, we know you left 2 more times that day. But she can't remember. She can't remember. She's not going to be bothered to go in the woods and see if Summer was wandering around. Candace's statement was, we yelled and yelled for Summer, but knew she was abducted. In Ben Hill math, and I'm not picking on people in the Ben Hill community, but you know who I'm talking about. 1 + 1 = 50 for them.
Yeah.
Well, again, before I shut it down, I want a huge round of applause for Trevor, because the work he did this weekend was absolutely amazing. Big round of applause for Trevor. Guys, this has been a great show. Thank you for being here. We have a big show tomorrow. We're going to go through some Chris McDonough footage with Brandy and Tyler. And I got to get a hold of Brandy and see what's going on. She said she's sick. See if she's okay. Trevor, you got some moolah coming to you. So I need Trev's Cash App, because everybody here wants to support you in what you're doing. And that support, I mean, we all know we live in a capitalistic society. Nothing's free. So
Right.
your gas, your time, your flyers, we're here for you.
Well, thank you. And I sent it to you a little bit ago.
Did you text me or did you send it through Facebook?
Messenger.
Your Messenger. Okay. I will get that right now and get you some moolah over to you. And I'm going to share your Cash App if you want, because that way you've got the money and we know that you're going to do what you do, because you're doing the work, Trev.
Well, thank you. And people should be on the lookout. I'm working on some places we're going to be doing flyers at, and I want to get it out, like I said, way ahead of time so people can come out if they want to, or support it in whatever way. But I'm going to get some events lined up and that we're going to do the same thing at, and I'll have it out soon.
And don't forget, nothing makes the devil more upset than doing God's work. Nothing. Nothing.
The fight stays on.
100%. Nothing. And we know there are some evil, evil people out there. Hell, there's one right now that promised to take my channel. And I'm like, how are you going to do that? How?
Good luck.
What are you going to do? You going to unplug my Wi-Fi? What are you going to do? Hell, OJ tried it one day.
I think OJ's the only one with that power.
OJ is the only one with that power. That's for damn sure. All right, you guys have, Curse with Curiosity said, stop financially supporting these parents. Yes. Okay. I'm so glad you said that. And remember, they have nothing to say. They have nothing to say that is going to help with the case of Summer Wells. What has been said has already been said. It's basically rinse and repeat with a little extra spice or a twist in it. They're not going to say any more. We have to go back to the beginning as much as we can, old press conferences, stuff like that, because there is no reason to entertain them. None. Zero.
Amen. 1,000%.
All right, you guys are the absolute best. Anything you want to say in closing, Trev?
Nope, just keep up the good fight. And remember, there are a lot of people out here who still care. And we're going to keep up the fight for Summer until she gets her justice and she's found.
Another reason why I love this community so much, because it doesn't matter if we're talking about Summer Wells, Michael Vaughn, the Susan Smith case. We have a big show coming up this week about Alana Raffield, because they have moved forward in their civil suit. And this community cares and cares for the right reasons. You guys are the best. You guys are the channel. That's all there is to it. You guys are the channel. I'm not the channel. You guys are. So I want you to enjoy the rest of your Monday. I have a lot of stuff I have to do today. So I probably won't be around Discord too much. But again, we will be back tomorrow at 9 a.m. Central Time. And also keep your reminders on, because we're going to have a big members live this week to celebrate the September birthdays. Thank you, mods. Thank you, members. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, friends. Thank you for being here. You guys have a great rest of your day, and I will See ya tomorrow.